Good late evening, Mcluvin News here. I haven't even touched my dinner because I was just brought to my attention by trying to share with a wonderful Irish pub business called Meg O'Malley's here in Melbourne. I don't even think they know this guy. This is the guy I'm talking about. Seth Staton Watkins. That's right, Seth Staton Watkins, an Irish folk song singer, 29 years old, born back in 1995. You guys who are on the Trump side, who voted for Trump, that took up the majority of the country, remember something. You're not the majority. You are the voices that's First Amendment right spoke out the loudest. So to all those who think I'm only speaking for Trump, let me back up a little bit. That's right. I voted for Kamala, and guess what? I accept the conceding results. And you Kamala supporters watching me, before you start to have a, what the heck's this guy on moment in your head, like, wow, could he possibly concede, to accept, to adapt so well? Yeah, I actually have accepted and adapted so well because I didn't forget the fundamentals of the two-party system. Republican, Democrat, Democrat, Republican. It's been a system that's held this country together for the longest time. And the most powerful First Amendment voice that we have is through song, through inspiration of singers and artists and people proactively doing something. Let this man be an inspiration to you guys. His words in this new single where he recreated the original song, It's Not the Poor Folk, he created a new song for the after effect of the election of 2024. And let me be very clear. He may use some labeling words, but they are not inciting hateful, vindictive, negative rhetoric that the left uses. And I'm not saying the right's any better. The right's been doing it for even longer, and they've been doing it to pander to the fear, more recently in political campaigns ever since you go back even before the Bill Clinton administration. We had 2001, September 11th, 2001, the World Trade Centers were attacked. And what did George Bush do? He labeled Afghanistan, Iraqis, Pakistan people as terrorists. And he had all of America united against terrorism and weapons of mass destruction and bombs to go seek out in their country. And all of our soldiers and veterans died for that. And what kind of rhetoric do you think we need to stand up in this country to speak out for? It's the empowerment of voices of the people who are doing the good fight. So let this be an inspiration for you guys to follow his music. His newest music he just released is Stand Together, which is right here 2 weeks ago. It stays, but it's available for purchase on iTunes Store and any other where you can find his music legally. I actually fell in love with some of his music, which comes from a true spoken, powerful heart. He even has a song from Lord of the Rings, Aragorn's coronation song. Forgive the phone, it's tripping a little bit since I got some water residue. I'm so pumped and so excited for this to share this with you guys. I implore you guys, it's a big shout out to him. I'm already subscribed. I'm already into the channel. It just has me on incognito mode. If I go back out of incognito mode and I go back to my YouTube and I look up Seth Staton Watkins, I should be already subscribed. Yes, I am subscribed, as you can see here. He's got 66,200 subscribers. He does folk song. And let me tell you something, guys. He touched me in a way where if you've been heartbroken and divided over this election, regardless of which side you're on, we need to remember something. We are Americans. We were united against terrorism, but not to the fact that we all marginalized and portrayed every Iraqi, Afghanistan, or Taliban person, which I know Taliban is an exclusive category of particular militia group in Iraq and Afghanistan, mostly Afghanistan. I'm not trying to say I'm an expert, but what I'm trying to get at is, why do I talk about this when my rhetoric is for the kids and for the future? It's because we are destroying the present right now by giving no accountability to the people in Donald Trump's cabinet. I'm not marginalizing Donald Trump as the most evil person. I've seen people compare him to the devil. Don't give Donald Trump the title of the devil. Don't put religion and Christianity down on the double down of more hypocrisy. I'm not even a religious person, and I believe in the Lord, okay? Even as a person who is a part of the LGBT and a furry. No, I don't have to wear a furry costume. If you don't know what a furry is, it's a person who can spiritually or physically identify with as an animal. Kind of like somebody who believes that as a male, they are part female, but totally different perspective. And same thing with a woman who perceives herself as a woman, but finds herself to be actually a man inside. And I'm talking about the transgender issue. So most importantly, this man, Seth Staton Watkins, does a beautiful job through folk song to touch the heart and soul, and I implore you guys to listen to him. This has nothing to do with dividing sides. This is about holding accountability, having the right to be able to stand up and resist against only one thing, tyranny and dictators in a peaceful resolution through the power of the First Amendment, through song, through passion for your kids. If you're an adult and you're sick and tired of the rhetoric and the labeling that's created this problem, and what is the problem? Quite simple. We got a two-party system, and MAGA is now opening the door, thanks to Donald Trump and his supporters, and those who voted for Trump, and those who give doorway to this, to option a third right-wing conservative stronghold. You know what that happens, you conservatives, right-wings, Republicans? You know what that means? If you open the door to a right-wing conservative group, you're also going to open the door to a left side, extreme side, leftist group, liberal group. Not a libertarian group, because libertarian is all about limited government. I stand by once again to say, who am I to talk about these factors? I'm in the middle. I've watched both sides throughout the years. I've admitted I voted more democratically over the years, but I stand with you guys today saying that I don't look at Kamala Harris as somebody who lost an election and lost her supporters because she did a terrible job. She lost it because the American people are still angry and fed up with the fact that we can't get anything done right in this country, and people are frustrated with the fact that every time a woman becomes elected, you look at the past administrations of men and our candidates and those who keep running for our country, they're all people who didn't reach out and touch the majority of American people to get everybody together. So people are still fed up and frustrated and angry, and the other sides that have been pivoted against each other time and time again, only one side seems to be getting the emotional feeling of what's being heard. And if the Democrats have to pick up and get on board, it's to drop the labeling and even with you guys, I'm going to say it right now, for transgender people and people who like the labeling and people who want all this, this certain pronouns and everything else. Look, I love people who want to be identified as what they want to be. I respect them for that. But let's get one thing very clear, okay? Some type of tow truck out front. I don't know what they're doing. Make sure they're not trying to tow my car. I don't think so. It's kind of weird. Anyway, the main point what I'm getting at is that both parties have been pivoting against each other for time and time again throughout the centuries. It's not much different. But if you look back at the old days, here's a wake-up reality call. Republicans used to be against slavery, and Democrats were for slavery. And that's way before Lincoln liberated this country. Okay? And even after, Democrats were still hypocrites. Now, Democrats, which I stand with completely, and I want to stand with Republicans, but they keep failing the bar, the marker of free, limited government. They're emboldening on the rich, just as hypocritically as the Democrats have done, running with the elitism and the capitalists and the rich and wealthy. And who do you think the rich are going to care for? They care about themselves. They don't care about you and me, and I care about you guys. So get with this program. We have a chance to make a difference, to empower our young and youth, to change our Congress, our elected leaders, our governors, the people who run our country, the people who speak our voices to better people than we have up there, because we're going to have to hold those people accountable. Who am I talking about? Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, even though he's technically out of Congress, sure. Old Republicans like Mitch McConnell. There's Lindsey Graham. Yeah, there's a lot of them, okay? There's people on Donald Trump's cabinet we need to hold accountable. There's a Department of Education right now who used to work for the department or work for the WWE. That's Vince Vic Vaughn or McMahon's wife. She's now running the school board of education that Donald Trump has made a foul. He's going to demolish. He's going to tear down. A lot of American parents are happy about this. Because it's going to give them the power to be involved with their kids' choices and what they get to do in schools. Let's not forget to the fact we still got to see what happens from that. How about the Arizona abortion ban that Donald Trump, if you go back to a previous video I talked about, where John Oliver covered this segment where when Trump was asked about that decision during the Biden administration, where Arizona got this law through during the Biden administration. Yeah, Biden was, you can call him Sleepy Joe, whatever. The man survived three brain aneurysms, or at least multiple brain aneurysms, more than one or two. Okay. The fact he's still walking around and living with a less than 25% survival rate of a brain aneurysm, and when he had those brain aneurysms, people can bash him and label him for being old Sleepy Joe, but we'd be lucky he's still walking around. And he had the decency to step down because he wasn't fit, or as he felt he was forced into, as I've been told and informed by a local Trump supporter here. I don't need to mention names, but information passes by my ear, and I can believe that Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, we're honestly just battling between old people at this point. Like, who's going to do better? Which senior citizen are we going to be better living under? And quite frankly, I'm not running scared over Trump, but I am going to tell you one thing. The tariffs, the talk of tearing down the school education board, the impacts of what's going to be left for our kids and our children, we are going to be watching, and we are going to be holding him accountable, because now it's not about putting him to the fire. It's about saying, here, Trump, you can see if you can make up amends for what you didn't do so well in your past administration, because all of us can look back and research, and I implore you guys to do it. Look back and research what Donald Trump's administration was from back then. But look up Seth, Staton, Watkins. Listen to his music, We Stand Together. It's a revamped version, okay, of the biggest part of unity and voice and free speech, and I will leave it at that. I implore you guys to check it out. Thank you for watching Mcluvin News. I'm going to get to eating. Thank you. Oh, without the present, of course. Let me not leave this out. There is no future. For the kids and for always. Without the present, there is no future. Thank you.